Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health, fitness, mindset and body from where you are right now to where it is that you absolutely want to be. And today's topic is about just taking that next step, just moving forward just that little bit more, because there are times when we get to that point and we say, why do I want to keep going? I can't keep going. I've had enough. I need to do something different. You're just fed up for all the reasons that you can come up with as to why you need to do something different, change career, change direction, change partner, change something so that you can get a completely different outcome. And sometimes that's necessary. But what is absolutely necessary is that you do not stand still. You do not stay in that same place, because that's not going to give you anything except more pain, more heartache, and more of what it is that you're currently getting. But if I think about what's going on for me right now, there are always things that come up against us that could stop us if we let them, because life's tough. Things are tough, and sometimes we go from tough to tougher to, oh my God, that is so tough, to, oh my God, I can't believe that has now just happened as well. And depending on how you communicate with yourself is going to be how you manifest those things inside you. Is that not right? If you have this tendency to create drama and to create things bigger in your head than they really are, then when you get stacked with a few things on top of each other, that's when things can start to crumble for you. But the whole globe has gone through COVID last year, and I want you to just inner reflect for a moment here and think, how do you think you have managed or are managing COVID for you right now? Are you the sort of person that complains about everything that's going on with COVID? And, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, it stopped me from doing this, it's had this impact on my business, it's done this, it means I can't do this, etc., etc. I mean, if I took that position, I could come up with so many different reasons as to why I should be angry at COVID, should be angry with China, be angry with my state politicians for locking us down for 8 months last year. I mean, there are so many different reasons to come up with an excuse to be angry about those things. But what does that really do? All it does is keep that angst and anxiety and stress within me. It doesn't serve any good purpose. So instead, I decided not to do that at all and to just focus on the opportunity, focus on the growth, and look how I could really push myself in the toughest time that we'll hopefully ever live through to really come out on top. Because up to COVID, I had constantly studied success. Like over the last decade, I've been so obsessed with it, looking at people that are highly successful in their fields, extracting all the things that work for them, come up with a blueprint for me, implement that on a regular basis every day to see if I can get the same outcomes. And it works. Focusing on those things works. So I've done that every day, I've got the outcomes, and I know that if I'd stayed in this horrible place of focusing on the downside, then I'm never going to look for an upside, because all your energy goes into that place. I mean, think of how much energy you can put into being angry about something. A lot. But I just refused to do it because I'd studied success for so long. I thought, well, I can't just think about this stuff. I can't just talk about it. You can't just think about having things better. You've got to do it. And so I thought, well, I'm not just going to be one of these people that talks about it. I'm going to do it and prove to myself, not to anyone else, but prove to myself what I'm made of. And That's what made all the difference. So having come through COVID and having my best year ever and achieving so much over the last 12 months, I'm so proud of what I've been able to do. My point is, if you can go through that, there's nothing that's going to come my way that's going to stop me. And so I've got lots of challenges at the moment. I mean, obviously I've got scheduling challenges because I've been never busier, working very long days, having one day off a week, and even that day I'm still recording 2 podcasts a day. So I don't have a break ever as such, completely away from work, because I'm focusing on always connecting, always creating content and giving more. So I've got that side of it. I've got everything that's going on with my daughter at the moment as well. So there's homeschooling, we just found out yesterday that is likely to continue for potentially another 4 to 12 weeks and beyond, perhaps. So now I've got to coordinate that as well as the other challenges in helping manage her state of mind and so forth. A range of other things that I could include: my back injury, which I injured my back a week ago, and how that has had an impact on changing my training and everything, and what I want to accomplish for myself this year. And there's just one layer on top of another and another and another. And I could go on and list a bunch of other things as well. But the point is, they've all come and I've said, well, okay, we just keep moving forward. Yes. Is that convenient? Pardon me. Is that the way that I'd planned for things to work out? No, it's not. Could they be better than that? Yes, they could. But this is what we've got right now. This is what we have in front of us, and we can't change it. All we can do is manage it, move forward, make different plans, different strategies, implement those, keep moving forward. And what it may mean is that you're not moving forward as fast as you want to. You're not moving perhaps in the same direction that you want to go right now. Sometimes you need to head backwards a little bit before you can go forwards. Like with my body at the moment, I can't lift. So, pardon me. So I'm having a week off the weights. Now, what I should be doing is lifting as heavy as I can right now. So essentially it means that I'll miss 5 workouts. Then when I get to next week, well, it starts from tomorrow, I need to do a week of Pilates type work to help me strengthen my back, strengthen my core, help work out some of the soreness. I'm pretty much back to a good place right now, but rather than just rush back into it, I need to do that. Then after maybe it's a week of the Pilates, it's getting back into some light lifting, not doing anything crazy, just getting back into some light lifting, listening to my body, not doing anything silly. So not rushing back into it and saying, okay, I feel good now, let's go back. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm going backwards a little. But why am I doing that? It's so that I can then go forwards and leapfrog where I was before and still get some amazing results for myself. Is it inconvenient? Yes. Is it what I planned for? Absolutely not. But is it over? No way. Because I've worked out a plan with my coach as to how do we stay on track? How do we get back to where it is that I really want to? Another reason why you have a coach. Obviously, I know the things that I need to be doing, but in these instances, it really helps to bounce these ideas off your coach so they can tell you this is what it is that you need to do. So a great example of that is with the Pilates stuff. He suggested, so normally I wouldn't do Pilates, and normally I would just rest. I'd get back into some light weights. Now he suggested the Pilates because he's also wrecked his back, and he's given me some tips and some links to some workouts that I can be doing at home by myself. So, a really great thing that I wouldn't have thought of doing before. It's going to put me in a better position, and then working back into some lighter weights is just, again, I would have potentially gotten back into lifting heavier than lighter. Not my heaviest, but certainly not going light, and potentially pushing myself back into a recurring position. So again, just another great example as to why you need a coach. But my point is, sometimes you have to go backwards, sometimes you need to go sideways, sometimes you just need to move forward and you're not taking as big a step as you want to, but it's taking a step. So again, if I use my back as an analogy there, just over 7 days ago, I hurt my back and I physically had to hold myself up on this rack of weights, because if I stood up I would have collapsed to the ground because the pain was so intense, and I was just holding myself there. And then when I started moving, there was probably 20 seconds where I thought, I can't move because I can't load up one leg to shift the other one. I just can't do it. But I thought, just wait, just breathe, let the inflammation, the strain of what I've just done, just relax a little bit. The muscles have gone into spasm in my back, so you need to just wait. And then after I waited 20 seconds, I went from not being able to move to just taking a step the length of my other foot. Okay, so the length of my shoe, which is, I don't know, let's say 25 centimeters, something like that. That's all I did. I just moved it a little bit. And then I moved the other one at the same distance. And is that normally the length of the step I would take? No, I'd take a bigger step. But I knew I had to move, because if I don't move, I stay where I am, and obviously I'm attached to a weight and my back doesn't get better. I knew that I needed to move to get the blood circulating to help me be able to repair this and get back to where it is that I want to. So I just took little steps and little steps and little steps. And then after probably about 20 steps, I was able to increase the length of my step. And then I ended up going and finishing a workout on the treadmill so that I could just spend like 20 minutes walking to get the blood circulating and feel good in that sore part of my back. And so that's a physical example of taking one step after the other. And if I didn't, I'd be immobilised, in more pain, and not helping where I need to get to. So I think when it comes to a situation that you can perhaps relate to in your own life, where maybe you're going through stuff right now and you just feel like you're not moving forward. There's so many different elements going on around you, whether it's, if you've got children, you know what I'm talking about. There's always something that's going to come up with a child, whether it's a young child, whether it's, you've got teenagers like I do, whether you've got older teenagers, whether you've got young adults. There is always something that comes up that can throw you off the path that you really want to go down. It's just part of life and the things that we go through. Maybe there's some challenges at work and you feel like you're putting in the hours and you're not progressing in your job. You're not getting the promotion that you think you deserve. And that's really frustrating you. Maybe you're running your business and you're not growing the business as fast as you would like to. You're not getting the income that you want. You're not getting the customers that you want or the clients that you want. You're not making the money that you think you deserve. And maybe you've been in this place for a while, and maybe it's now just part of your everyday. You're just accepting it. But you really want more, but you're just accepting it. Don't just accept it. Keep moving forward, no matter how hard it is, no matter what you're going through. You're worth it to work a little harder. And even if you say, I can't work any harder, I'm doing everything that I can, there is another level. You just haven't found it yet. And sometimes you need to get to that point where you're pushed so hard and it's so difficult for you and you feel like you can't do any more, that you need to find more to go further forward. Because imagine this, I'm sure you've all seen the diagrams before, or the cartoons, where you've got two people. They're digging tunnels. one on top of each other. And one person has dug so far and they've been digging for so long that they just figure they can't do it anymore, they're going to give up. But the cartoon above it or below it digs a little bit further, and the gold or the diamonds or the jewels or the treasure is just beyond that point where that other person stopped. It's just past there. Excuse me. And this is often the case with us in our strive for whatever that goal is that we're working for. Whatever it is, whether it's health, fitness, body, whether it's work, sales targets, whatever it is. Sometimes it's just beyond where you think you can't go any further. But when you go that little bit further, that's where you find all the rewards. That's where you find that's where my success is. That's what I've been looking for so long. I didn't think it was just beyond that point. And I can really relate to that in my own business. I mean, I may have mentioned this yesterday, but I thought that I would achieve what I'm achieving now after 2 years in business. 2 years. Don't ask me why I came up with 2 years. That was just the perception that I created for myself, that I'm a smart man. I'd worked as an executive in large corporations. I do it differently to the way that most do. I should be able to do this. So 2 years, that'll give me enough to build a client base, etc., etc. But it's actually taken me 10. Not 2, it took me 10. So it's taken me 5 times longer than I initially thought when I started my business. But here's the thing, upon reflection, that I notice. For so long, I worked what I thought was my hardest, doing certain things. But then COVID came along, I changed a few things, I changed my outlook, I created some more products and services and some opportunities, and guess what? Just beyond what I was doing before were all the rewards. And it seems silly when I look back and I think, why didn't I do this 8 years ago? But you don't know what you don't know at the time. And I thought what I was doing was my pathway to get there. The reality was it just wasn't. I needed to do more. And it wasn't a lot more, it was just that little bit more. It's like digging just that little bit further to get there. And it wasn't like I took a huge leap and said, I need to do this massive change to be able to get there. The biggest change, I guess, was in my mindset to say, all right, this is where I am right now. Clearly, I'm not where I want to be. I need to change things. And the greatest gift in me being able to see these things and change all these things has been COVID. So the gift that I see in COVID is all these other huge things that have happened in my life that have been devastating for me, whether they be death of people, whether they be breakdown when I got divorced, breakup of relationships that I've thought, if I get personal for a moment, if I think about my divorce, so I was with the girl's mum for like 20 years. I've had a relationship since then, which I thought was, it's like 5 years or so after I've been divorced, and I was with her for 3 years, and I thought that she was the absolute love of my life. But a series of things happened. We're not together anymore, my choice. And the impact that those kinds of things, those personal relationship type things, are really, really hurtful and really devastating. And they make you look at things differently. And if I look at what I went through to get my business, to set that up, and to after I got divorced, and to find a new studio, a new house to live in, the impact on the kids, and all these different things that have happened from when I was bullied all those years ago. And I look at all these significant things, that there's about 3 or 4 like really huge events that have happened in my life that have changed the path of my lifetime. I'm sure you can relate to some that that, if you go back to that point, yes, that is a point that has definitely changed my path, it's changed my life. I look at all of those things and I think every single one of those things that at the time was devastating, was really hard, I have become a better person and grown so much as a result of those things occurring. And if I look at COVID, I say, if COVID hadn't happened, I would not be as successful as I am right now. I would not have grown as much as I have because of that. So, because COVID is just one more thing, so now I've probably got 5 or 6 events that have happened in my life that I think, man, they were gifts to me. Even though they are pain and suffering at the time, they are massive gifts that you later see. So now, if there is something that comes my way and I feel like, man, that feels like a knife in the heart, or a really uncomfortable feeling in your stomach, or you feel like, man, this is not good, it just doesn't feel good, then I immediately think, even though I can't see it right now, there has to be an amazing gift in this. Everything that my daughter's going through right now, there is an incredible gift in that. Now, I can't see all of that gift right now because you just can't see everything all at once, but I see that there are a number of things that are definitely gifts in that right now. And that's pain and suffering, but there's gifts in there. And so this is why I don't want you to stop. Because whatever you're going through right now, however that is manifesting inside you as pain, as grief, as depression, as just not moving, there is an incredible gift in here that maybe you just can't see yet. But you know when you will see it? If you just keep moving forward. You just take that next step. All the rewards that you're looking for, all the hard work that you're putting in right now, just needs that little bit more, and that little bit more, and that little bit more, until you get there. And you'll know when you get there. And for me, it wasn't a case of one morning I woke up and said, oh, yesterday I wasn't there, but today I am. It was really a case of just one thing led to another, and I was probably a few months, even 4 or 5 months in, and I was having a look through my monthly numbers, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm there. In fact, I've achieved more than I thought I would. I'm actually there. And that was a really special moment for me, because up to that point, I was just busy being busy, doing my thing. But it wasn't until I analysed the numbers that I realised, geez, I knew I was doing all right, but I didn't know I was doing that well. And that said 2 things to me. I need to review my numbers more often, but wow. And that's the first time that I got really excited about what it was that I had achieved. Because up to that point, I'm just doing my thing and helping people, serving them, and everybody's happy. And so it's not one of those things where you just know that, tomorrow, today you haven't made it, tomorrow you have made it. It's not a case like that. You'll notice over time that, wow, all this hard work has really paid off. And I didn't have to do a whole heap better, a whole heap more. I just had to do that a little bit more. But you've got to keep moving. Next step, next step, next step. Trust me, it's powerful. It works. You've just got to keep moving. Don't stand still. So if you want to connect with me, go to thementaltoughnessandbodyshow.com. Opt in for a free consult there. Let's connect. Let's have a conversation. We can make 2021 your best year yet. See you tomorrow.